Morning, good evening, good afternoon, Fabulites. Character. Thinking about character today. I got 3 quick tips for building your character, developing your character, maintaining your character. Stick around if you want to hear. I'm Angela and the channel is Be Fabulous You. Number 1 tip, hack for developing character. Get to know yourself. Get to know who you are so you can be true to yourself and you can honor yourself. You can be authentic. So number 1 hack is be you. Be who you are. Be honest and sincere. Number 2, be conscious of your word. Be a person of your word. Say what you mean and mean what you say. If you say you're going to do something, go ahead and do that. Number 3, add value. When you come into the room, is it a better space? How can you make it a better space? How can people feel better when they leave your energy than when they come into your energy? Is it Kuumba creativity that says that we leave this world, we leave spaces better, more beautiful when we left them than when we found them? Leave them more beautiful energetically when you leave them than when you find them. Figure out how you can add value. Figure out how you can add love. Look for love and God and good in each situation. So those are my 3 quick tips for building character. What do you do to build and develop your character? How are you helping yourself to be more fabulous? As we're walking and talking, we were talking about Bishop Eddie Long.
Could I just say something about
Yes.
character? When you first said it, I thought you were talking about
Acting character.
So it took me a while. It's like, what is she talking about? And then be you, and I could see bringing yourself to the character. And then by the second one, I started to catch on. But being in the play Sister Act and trying to develop this character,
who should have strong character because she's a nun.
Right. So it's just interesting to think of how I develop a character. For me, a costume is always helpful in terms of who this person is. Sometimes a wig sometimes gives me insight in terms of how that person moves and thinks and acts and dresses herself. How they walk, how they talk, how they think, the backstory is always important. And the words of the script. What does the script say about your character? What do the other people in the play say about your character? All that you need to know.
Yeah. I think when I think of character development as an actor, I think of the inside of my character, and I think of the context and the things that the character has been exposed to. At least in this play, Sister Act, I'm thinking a lot about black nuns and doing a little bit of reading about black nuns and the history of black Catholics, and trying to understand who would be the person, who would be the types of people, what type of person might be attracted to be a nun in 1978. What type of black person might be attracted to be a nun in 1978? What types of things might have shaped them and influenced them? What do they aspire to?
And for my character, it's like what would have attracted her in 1948 or 1958, because she's been a nun a while.
Yeah.
And she's transferred, in my interpretation, she's transferred from another convent, a southern convent.
Yeah.
So I think all that.
Yeah.
The more detail you can put into your backstory, the better. Did they have siblings? Was she ever in love? All of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so Bishop Eddie Long, who made his transition within the last couple months ago. It hasn't been that long.
Right.
But before he made his transition, there was a lot of controversy that surrounded him. I was watching a little piece on Greenleaf, and they were talking about how the church that they filmed that TV show in, how there's been a lot of controversy in that church, and how there does tend to be a lot of controversy in the black church. But anyway, he had a lot of controversy around him, specifically regarding him having
of his mentees.
Right, him having relationships with children, boys. Children is, boys, girls, whatever. The children is what's problematic. And we heard through the grapevine that his fraternity had given him an award, 2009. The controversy.
The highest award possible for a Kappa.
The highest award possible in their fraternity was given to Eddie Long in 2009. In 2010, I guess his molestation of the children became public. I don't know if he was ever convicted of it. I'm not really sure about it.
He settled it out of court.
He settled it out of court. And you know how there's some things that, for whatever reason, right, wrong, or indifferent, I just thought it was true. So, I know that's not, I don't know. But he never received the award because of the controversy. But he was given the award after his death, posthumously. Oh, look at those yellow flowers. I think that's bread and butter, buttercups. What are they called?
No, butter and cream.
Butter and cream.
That has white to it too, I think.
Oh, but he was given this award after the fact, after his death, by his fraternity, or by the head of his fraternity. Some members of his fraternity, like one person who was on Roland Martin, has decided that they are no longer interested in being a part of the fraternity.
Supporting them financially.
Because of, they're awarding a child molester an award. They have mentoring programs, they deal with children, and they just he didn't feel that was inappropriate. That was appropriate to be celebrating a child molester, a known child molester. So, sorry, Bella got me all twisted. You got me twisted. But anyway, it just kind of got me to thinking, and I've been thinking about, here we come up on these dogs. You want to cross the street?
Okay.
I've been thinking about, people being perfect, and that people aren't perfect. And, we strive to develop our character. We strive, to be the best people that we can be. Many of us do. I can't say that everybody does, because I don't know. Is that the dog? Did they put it behind the... No, that's not the dog.
They got him cleaned up and the collar on right quick.
He looked fat, too.
He looked fat.
We had a stray dog following us around earlier. We managed to elude him. We thought maybe one of our neighbors had taken him in. But, people are people. They're not perfect. So you're going to have some things that are strong, and you're going to have some things that you're still working on. As long as you're alive, hopefully there are areas that you can continue to grow and develop and work in. You see her? Can you see her?
There are degrees of imperfection.
There
Just like they were talking about Colin Kaepernick and saying, had he assaulted his woman, or beat somebody up in a club, he still would be sought after in the NFL. The fact that he stood up for black people, no team is willing to touch him so far.
Right.
So it's all relative. What's perfection to one is not, and what's troubling to somebody is not troubling to somebody else.
Right.
Some people might draw the line at rape. Some people might draw the line at child abuse.
Some people might draw the line at enslaving Africans.
Yes.
Even though, for some people they might be like, well, that was the way of the time.
Right.
Everybody had enslaved Africans. And I might look at them and be like,
no,
they're a monster. They're the devil. They're evil. I don't care what else they did. I'm not a fan. And if I find out that somebody that I thought was cool was an enslaver, I'm not a fan. And I kind of feel that way about child molesting. I kind of feel like, I could feel empathy for you. Oh my gosh, I saw this thing, speaking of child molesting, I saw this thing on Greenleaf, And he was talking about how he developed his character, and his take on his character is that his character totally believes that what he is doing is within the realm of okay, that he feels that, you know, that this number of, you know, someone being a child is arbitrary, that at different times in history and in different spaces, it's legitimate. It's legitimate to have relations with 12-year-olds or 15-year-olds or whatever. So I really appreciate it as an actor. I mean, his just conviction of, you know, kind of the way he described his character and the way he spoke about him. It was like, yes, I believed it, I felt it, I understood it.
I think most molesters are like that too. They have justified it to themselves. I would never hurt a child. I'm just touching them gently.
Right. I'm just showing them how to please a man or
Right.
a woman or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
I love them. I've never hurt them.
Yeah. So character. Does someone have to be perfect? Who do you admire? And especially when I think about the black church, or you know people who are in positions of ethical and moral leadership, we expect their character to be, you know, above and beyond.
Right.
And at the same time, they're humans.
But one would hope that we would hold the bishop to a higher standard than someone who's not professing to be a moral leader.
Yes. And on that note, be you. Be fabulous. Be fabulous you. Thank you.